YouTube, what's the deal, man? It's your boy Tom, and today I'm bringing y'all a different kind of video. You know, y'all ain't really seen too many videos like this from me or from anybody else for the most part, but today I wanted to show y'all my brush collection. Now, to my left is all of the brushes that I use for 360 waves, obviously. Everybody that know me personally knows that I'm super heavy into the waving. I still remember the first time I ever saw 360 waves before. I was watching the episode of Martin and Outkast was on there performing. I think it was the Players Ball episode, and Andre 3 Stacks like had a super clean beehive. Now that I think about it, it probably wasn't that clean, but it was dope. I had never seen waves all around a person's heads. I thought it was a super dope hairstyle. From that day forward, I just wanted to have waves like Andre 3000, so I started waving and I've been doing it ever since. Over the years, I've accumulated a lot of brushes. I haven't seen too many people on YouTube actually display their entire brush collection, so I figured, you know, I might as well just show y'all mine, you know, show y'all what type of heat I'm working with over here. Anyways, we're gonna just jump right into the video. Just so the video have a little structure, I'm gonna start with the palm brushes, so I got those up top, and then I'm gonna get to the handle brushes. I don't really like club brushes personally, but you know, to each his own. So the first brush that I'm gonna bring y'all is my Torino 5451. As you can see, the paint is peeling off of this. I use this as a shower brush. This is a medium hard brush. It's a little too hard for my texture. I couldn't use this brush as like a everyday brush, but it's a dope shower brush. It's actually starting to crack a little bit, so this brush might be going into retirement real soon. The next brush that we got up here is this Aka Kappa or Aka Kappa. It's an Italian brush made in Italy. As you can see, it has the premium wood grain and the premium soft white bristles, or blonde bristles I should say. This brush is a softy, super soft actually. I bought this brush for my son initially, but he has braids now, so he doesn't use it. So, you know, I definitely use this brush on a fresh cut. This is probably my top 5 brushes. Definitely top 5. The next brush we're gonna get into is the OG Diane 8167 palm. I feel like this brush is a little too small per se. I have really big hands, so holding it kind of cramps my hand a little bit. So I just use this brush when I'm giving myself haircuts to brush the loose hair off with. But it's still a dope brush. You know, you have the soft bristles. This is more on the firmer side of soft than soft in comparison to the Aka Kappa. This is definitely a dope brush though. Highly recommend you getting one of these if you don't have one. The next brush that I'm gonna get into is the Beauty M60. Now, I'm just gonna keep it 100. I don't like this brush. The bristles are dope. They're really long, real firm. It's a medium, a true medium. But I think it's just the bristles are too close together, and the brush is really small, like most palm brushes, especially the oval palms. It's a little too small, but I just personally don't like this brush. But you know, that's just my personal opinion. It's not a bad brush. I just don't personally like it, but it's still a dope brush. The next brush that we're gonna get into right now is the RS Stein Softy. This brush is dope in terms of the bristles. It says 100% pure bristle. I don't know if this is boar or what, but these bristles are really dope. They're long, so it covers a lot of ground when you stroking. The only thing that I don't like about this brush is there's really no spacing in between the bristles. That's with almost any palm that you come across. You're not gonna really have too much spacing. So depending on your pattern, it may or may not cause forks. I bought this brush and it had like a crack in it, so I kind of like steered away from it just because I didn't want to like further any damage. The brush is actually like cracked all the way through the middle. I mean, it's definitely a good quality brush. I think it just may have got damaged in transit, so I don't really use this brush too much, but this brush is dope. Next brush we're gonna get into is the RS Stein hard brush. Now, this brush quality wise, just like the Softy, definitely premium. You can see the screws in there. This is a beautiful brush. Like, this gloss finish is super dope. But this brush is hard as hell. I think this is, if this isn't my hardest brush, it's definitely like my second hardest brush. And I don't really woof for super long periods of time, so it's very rare that I use this brush. I think I've used this brush like maybe twice. And when I mean by twice, I mean twice in like time periods where I was using it on an everyday basis. But this brush is super hard. The design is similar to the RS Stein Softy. This is more of a box shaped palm instead of a oval shaped palm. But you know, for a coarse hair waver, this brush would definitely be a beast. The next brush I'm gonna get into is the Torino Pro Fatality brush. This is a medium. Now, see how the spaces are in between each row? First 7 row palm brush. This is a medium, an actual true medium. This brush like literally jumped into my top 5 within a week of me having it. Shout out to Brush King for making these Fatality brushes. This brush is a certified beast. Beautiful gloss finish. You got the Torino Pro logo on the back. Man, like, I go crazy with this brush. You can use this brush on a fresh cut. You can use it, you know, a couple weeks after a fresh cut, and you can use it while you woofing. This brush is a certified beast. Definitely top 5 brushes to have. Next brush I'm gonna get into is another Torino Pro palm. This is the Softy though. 7 rows, just like the other one. This brush jumped into my top 5 as well. I'm really big on brushes with spacing, just because brushes with spacing help with connections and breaking forks. Man, I can't stress enough how dope this brush is. And then look at the paint job, the white with the black. Like, man, like, this brush goes crazy. I'm brushing with this brush right now. Actually, I just gave myself a 1.5 about 3 days ago now. So, you know, this is definitely a fresh cut brush. I mean, you know, you can use it while you woofing too, just to knock those, you know, those frizzy hairs down. But I mean, definitely these Torino Pro Fatalities are the truth. Definitely go cop this if you haven't at brushking.org. So I'm gonna take y'all back a little bit now. This is a CQP. This is a OG CQP, back when the quality was top notch. As you can see, my Crown Quality logo disappeared, so I put some who was this, Leonardo? I put some Leonardo stickers on mine and then glossed it over so the stickers wouldn't come off. But man, this brush is a monster. Like, this is back when CQP was really on top. Like, the quality, you know, that curve, man. Like, if you want to get waves fast, CQP is the route to go. It's kind of hard to find a OG CQP, but if you can, definitely get it. Like, man, this brush goes crazy. This is the medium. This brush can also act as a hard brush depending on your texture, because the bristles are really stiff. But man, like, this is definitely my second favorite CQP, if not, it might be my third favorite, but nonetheless, this brush is an animal. Next brush we're getting into is the CQP hard brush. I haven't used this brush yet, only because I was really disappointed when I saw these synthetic bristles. These bristles just remind me of the cheap beauty supply brushes that your mom used to do your little sister's hair with. Like, I don't really see this as being a wave brush bristle. I don't know. Like, I've never used this brush. I bought it because it was white and I wanted a hard CQP, and when it came in the mail, I was just like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this? Like, yeah, I've never used this brush. I'm probably gonna end up selling it just because it's really just sitting in that box collecting dust. And then I also heard that these synthetic bristles get soft over time, so it's like, why even bother? You know what I mean? That's just me though. I don't see the point in it. I don't like the idea of the synthetic bristles, so yeah. On to the next brush. The next CQP we got right here is the medium soft. This is the premium CQP. Man, I wish I could have got this brush back when it was the OG good quality. I got it when it was, you know, when the quality diminished. So you know, the wood is super lightweight. I ended up like glossing this one over just because it didn't even have a gloss paint job. It was just a regular paint job. So I sprayed it down with some enamel to try to preserve my Crown quality product label. It worked a little bit, but over time, I use this brush a lot. So over time, you know, the gloss is starting to wear off, but these premium bristles, oh my God, these are hands down the best bristles I have on any of these brushes. I don't care. You can pick any brush out this lineup. The bristles on it, man, I cannot stress. These bristles are super dope. This curve, I definitely use this brush on a fresh cut. And a little bit after on a fresh cut. I use this brush more for my crown just because it has that point, so it's like I can direct my crown how I want it to go. But even, you know, just gliding over my head, like this brush is official. I just wish I got it back in the OG days so the quality could be up to par, but I wasn't lucky enough. So you know, for now we just gonna make this one work. Next brush we're gonna get into is the medium hard CQP. This is the golden oak. Just like the hard one, this one has the synthetic bristles. I actually used this brush for a couple of weeks before I judged it. It has a little deeper curve than the other CQPs. Like, I'm gonna compare it to the OG. As you can see, the curve is just a little bit deeper, just a little bit, not, you know, anything super crazy, but it's definitely obvious. It has the synthetic bristles. The only thing that I don't like about this brush is that the bristles don't really dig into the scalp. It brushes across the surface of the hair, but it doesn't get down to the scalp. I wouldn't call this a medium hard. I would call this a medium, if anything. It's definitely not hard. The bristles are stiff, but they don't get down to the scalp, and that's the only thing that I don't like about this brush. But I mean, this golden oak, like, this is probably one of the most attractive brushes that I have. Like, it don't get no better than that golden oak, especially with that gold Crown quality products label. This brush is definitely a looker. As far as usage, I don't use it that much just because it doesn't dig into the scalp good. So I mean, it would probably be a good frizz killer, or, you know, a good glosser. Yeah, that's just my thoughts on this particular brush. And last but not least of the palm brushes, we got the Softy CQP. I got the mahogany. Just like before, I wish I would have got this brush back when it was, you know, when the OGs was in production. But still, this brush is this brush go crazy. These bristles are the perfect Softy bristles for my texture. Now, they're really stiff and firm, but it's still soft. So it's like, you know, you got the pull, but you also got the soft, gentle touch for the fresh cut. Man, like, this brush go crazy. I love this brush. I use this brush probably just as much as I use my premium CQP, but just because I can use this brush at longer lengths, so I probably use this just a little bit more. Mahogany finish. I didn't have to gloss this one. I think this one came with the gloss finish, so I didn't have to put any enamel on this one. As far as my CQPs, this is definitely I'd say, if not my favorite CQP, this is probably my top two. I say top two, maybe top three, depending on what stage I'm in, as far as my waving. But yeah, the CQP Softy, man, these bristles go crazy. So now that we got all of the palms out of the way, we're gonna get into the handles, which are the brushes that I use the most out of all of my brushes. We're just gonna roll over into the CQPs. This is a CQP Softy. I actually bought this brush from a waver on All Waves. Shout out to him. I can't remember his name. I bought it like 3 years ago. It was in good condition. It was used when I bought it, but you know, he cleaned it up real good. This brush, man, like if I could get these bristles on a straight 7-row brush, I wouldn't need another brush. Just to be perfectly honest, like you could use this brush at any stage. Just like the Palm Softy, the bristles are stiff, long, they cover a lot of ground. Man, like you can get your crown with this corner. Man, this brush is a beast. Like I'm actually on the hunt to try to find another OG CQP softy handle, just because I know the paint job is going bad on this one and I want to get a new one. I know that's gonna be hard to find, but you know, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, just because like, man, this brush go crazy. This is one of the OGs, back when the quality was top notch, solid. You know, this brush go crazy. I'm definitely on the hunt. So if you know somebody who's selling a OG CQP softy, drop their names in the comments. I need it. I'm willing to pay top dollar for it. No hype beast prices, but I'm definitely willing to pay top notch for an OG softy CQP. The next brush we're gonna get into right now is the Torino Pro 6556. For the longest time, this was the only brush that I was using. This brush is a fork killer. Like, man, like I went on my first long wolfing session. I think I went 8 weeks, or I might have went 6 weeks. It was either 6 or 8 weeks, but this was the only brush that I was using. Man, knocked all my forks out. Crazy pull. Man, like this brush is a fucking beast. Man, Brush King definitely did his thing when he came out with this one. Only thing that I wish about this brush is that it had better spacing. But even without the spacing, this brush was, man, I was going to work with this brush, man. Like this brush, you know, is near and dear to my heart. You know, that chocolate gloss finish. You know, I was calling this brush Kelly Rowland for a long time. Like, man, this brush is beautiful. Man, I was going crazy with this brush. So, you know, if you can find one of these, definitely grab one. Torino Pro 6556, 100% pure boar bristle. Man, this brush is an animal. Next brush I'm gonna get into is the Torino Pro 1556. This is a softy, a firm softy. I just want to show you something real quick. Look at how long these bristles are in comparison to this brush. Look at that. You got like a ½ inch more bristles on this brush. This brush covers so much ground. For a long time, I was using this brush, you know, every day, just like I was using my 6556. The concept behind this brush was genius with these extra long bristles. I can't say anything bad about this brush. Just like I said before, if it had just a little bit more spacing, this brush would be perfect. But other than that, man, this brush is a beast too. So if you can find one of these, definitely go grab one. The next brush that I'm gonna get into is this Royalty brush. I don't know like the serial number or code that identifies with this particular brush, but this brush is a true medium. This is from the Royalty series from Brush King. The first thing that caught my attention about this brush is the look at the design of this. Does that remind you of anything? The OG Diane. Yeah, you know, it's definitely the same design as the OG Diane. 7-row bristles with the spacing, just like I love brushes with spacing. This is hands down the most attractive brush that I have. Like this wood grain pattern, man, that's a top-notch paint job, man. And then you got the gold Royalty sign on the tip. Man, like this brush is a true medium. Depending on your texture, you can use this brush on a low cut. I particularly don't. I have a softer texture, so I use this brush when I'm like 2 weeks after a fresh cut. But man, this is definitely my go-to brush. I don't use it more than I use my main brush, but I definitely go crazy with this brush. This brush is a beast. I think these are actually still available for purchase on Brush King's website. You can go check it out for yourself, but they might be sold out. If they sold out, then you know you might be able to find one on eBay or Amazon or something. But man, like I'm so glad I bought this brush. Like this brush goes crazy. Next brush I'm gonna get into is out the Royalty series as well. This is a medium soft. This brush is a little weird looking, like this green and yellow wood grain pattern. It's a little weird. Like it reminds me of that old Nickelodeon show where they used to slime the kids and shit. That's what this brush reminds me of. But man, these bristles go crazy. Like just like the brown Royalty, it got the spacing, 7 rows. I go crazy with this brush, especially on a fresh cut. If your ideal fresh cut is a number 2, you can start off with this perfectly. Highly recommend this one. I think this one is still for sale on brushking.org as well. So if you haven't picked this up, definitely go pick this Royalty brush up. White Royalty sign on the handle. Certified beast. Not the prettiest looking brush, especially with these blonde bristles and this green on blonde. I don't know, but this brush do work. Next brush I'm gonna get into is this Torino Pro brush. Look at the length of these bristles, bruh. Just like this other Torino Pro, super long bristles. This one is even longer than this one though. Like this brush is what I wish this brush was. The bristles aren't as firm as this one, but man, like they super soft, long. You got the 7 rows, so you got the spacing in between it. The only reason why this brush hasn't taken the place of this brush is because these bristles are a little bit more firm, and firm is good when it comes to softies. But man, like this brush is amazing. As you can see, you know, Brush King did his thing with this. This is the Torino Pro Fatality as well. Got the orange on the back, wood grain on the side, white on the front. Cincinnati Bengals. Like, man, like you can see he got the tiger stripe logo on the handle. Man, Brush King did his thing with these Fatality brushes. I ain't even gonna hold you up. This brush is super, super dope. I definitely go crazy with this brush on a fresh cut. I can't get over how long these bristles is. I was blown away with the gray Torino. Man, these bristles are ridiculous. Man, I can't say nothing bad about this brush. Absolutely nothing. This brush is a beast. We got one more brush from the Torino Pro Fatality series. This is a medium. I would say that this brush is a medium hard. These bristles are super, super stiff. I don't really like how short these bristles are. I feel like the brush doesn't cover enough ground for me personally. But nonetheless, it's still a dope brush. Like, look at the colorway. Black gloss on the back, wood grain on the side, red on the front. Man, this brush go crazy. He got another one with the reverse colorway with the red on the black, with the red on the back and the black on the front. I'm definitely gonna be copping that brush too. It's a 7-row brush. It got the spacing. It's definitely good when you in your woofing stages. For me personally, I still use it, but I just wish the bristles were just a little bit longer, just a little bit, so I can, you know, really feel like I'm covering a lot of ground when I'm brushing my hair, which is important when you in your woofing stage. Next up, we got the Best Wave Brush Softy. Man, this brush unfortunately is sold out. You can't find this brush nowhere. You might be able to find one on eBay or Amazon, but man, Brush King told us, like, when these brushes is gone, they gone. And you know, I got mine early. Man, premium soft bristles. I would compare these bristles to the bristles on the premium CQP, the green one. It has the OG Diane design. Look at that wood grain finish, that glossy, like butter pecan finish. Man, I'm using this brush right now as well. Because the bristles are so soft and premium, the brush doesn't have a lot of pull, but it glides across your hair so smooth. Like, man, Best Wave brush, if not the best, is probably second best, but I'm gonna go on a limb and say that this is the best softy that you can buy, or that you can't buy because they sold out. But this brush is I love this damn brush. Next brush we're gonna get into is the Beauty 606. Now, this brush is also sold out. You're not gonna find this brush nowhere. As you can see, it has the OG Diane design. The bristles on this is crazy. This is a true medium. Like I've said before that this one was a true medium and this was a true medium. This is a real true medium. Like, man, like I've had this brush for a couple of years now. This is definitely a top 5 brush. It could possibly be top 3. Like, only thing that I don't like is, you know, because I've had it for so long, I clean it with a brush cleaner. The paint is starting to chip in between the bristles. But, you know, brush is not gonna last forever, so you can expect that. My son bit the logo, so it chipped off a little bit right here. 7 rows, you got the spacing. Man, this brush is a beast, y'all. Like I can't say nothing bad about this brush. Definitely a must-have. If you didn't get it when you could get it, I feel sorry for you because you missed out on a dope brush. So now we're gonna get into really the only 3 brushes you need when it comes to waving. These brushes are perfect, flawless in every sense of the words that I just used. Number 1, or I should say number 3, OG Diane 8159. Now this is probably the hardest brush that I have.
Do not use this brush on a fresh cut. Do not use this brush 2 weeks after a fresh cut.
This brush is strictly for woofing, nothing else. If you put this brush on your head and you not woofing, you are going to scratch your scalp and it's going to bleed. Like, these bristles are super hard, but when you woofing, that's what you need. Reinforced bristles, golden oak. You know how I go with the OG Diane's, top quality, you know, label still intact. I've had this brush probably like 4 years. Bristles are still stiff. You got the 7 rows and the spacing. You already know what this brush do. Classic, OG. Actually, I think this is Granddaddy OG. I can't remember. This might be Granddaddy OG, but it's definitely OG if anything. Man, like this brush, you can't say nothing bad about this brush. Classic. Number 2, we got the OG Diane 8169. Now, I use this brush a lot. As you can see, my label is gone. I said that the best wave is the best softy. This is a super close second, man. Like you know, you got the firm, soft bristles. That black finish, second to none. That black finish is so dope on this brush. Like, man, like I can't say nothing bad about this brush either. Like, you got the 7 rows, you got the spacing that you need for them connections. You know, perfect on a fresh cut, perfect 2 weeks after a fresh cut, perfect while you woofing. Like, man, this brush do work. Everybody know what this brush is about. If you don't, you ain't no real waver. You out here sleeping, you don't know what this brush about. And last, but definitely not least, this is my favorite brush of all time. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what 360 Jeezy say. I don't care what Sir Cruz say. I don't care what Nick Wavy say. I don't care what the Brush King himself say. There is no brush on planet Earth that's better than this brush right here. And I'm talking about the OG Diane 8119. Perfection. IMO, in my opinion. This brush is perfect for my texture. I can use this at any level. Fresh cut, 2 weeks after a fresh cut while I'm woofing. This brush will always move my hair. Top quality. You know, I don't have the mahogany, but as you can see, top quality paint job. No paint chipping. That label still there. My son actually bit this one too, so the label is a little bit scratched, but There's nothing that can replace this brush, in my opinion. Like all of these brushes I just showed y'all, this is numero uno, the head honcho. This is the president of the United States of waving. Man, this is definitely my favorite brush. And luckily for me, I got this brush when they were still cheap. I think I paid $35 for this brush. Right now, you can't find an OG 8119 under $100. So, you know, shout out to the people who got theirs early. You can still find this brush in some beauty supplies. If you do, buy all of them because you could definitely make a lot of money. Man, this brush comes second to none. Nothing bad to say about that. I hope y'all like this video. You know, that's my entire brush collection. People ask, is it that serious? Yes, it's that serious. To me, at least. But I hope y'all like the video. Like I said, you know, I'm gonna come with plenty more videos. I'm about to start going full throttle with this YouTube shit. So, you know, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll holla at y'all later.